Hello, history anchors. Having done St. Catherine's Monastery and feel fulfilled, but there's still a lot to see in the Holy Valley. And I thought of it that before I climb Mount Moses or Jabal Tur or the Holy Mountain or the Mountain of God, Tur Sinina, the Mountain of Tur at night, there's one controversy that I think I must settle. I feel obliged to settle it. And that is, where is the original Mount Sinai? Like now, everything else, people like to create controversies. In recent years, in last, I think maybe 20 or 30 years, there's been a certain mountain in present-day Saudi Arabia called Jabal Lawaz, or the Mountain of Almond. I don't know where does it get the name, Mount of Almond. That has been reported by some explorers or archaeologists. They believe that that mountain is the real Mount Sinai. So I thought I addressed that controversy. I've got my own little two-penny worth of research on the subject. Firstly, I would like you to take you to my study and explain to you with the graphs and the maps and with the path of the Exodus as to where is the real Mount Sinai. The one that I just showed you now, with the evidence of being blackened at the top by the manifestation or the minutest of the manifestation of God, and the Jabal Lawaz, the Mountain of Lawaz in Saudi Arabia. Why is this mountain that I'm gonna climb tonight, and I showed you briefly now, is the real Mount Sinai, not the one there. So let's get to my study. I show you with my graphs, and then we come back to the Holy Valley. Now, as I said, when I was there back in Egypt, that we humans like to create controversy. So recent controversy, not recent, well, 30, 40 years ago, a controversy has been created where is the real Mount Sinai. And it was done by an American archaeologist, and he gave all kind of proofs. So I just need to show you with a map where the Mount Sinai is, the real one, where we are now, and where the proposed one or the alternate one given is. So these are the two fingers of the Red Sea, the Aqaba and the Suez. So the children of Israel, as I explained to you, came from here all the way down to Mount Sinai, where we are now, and then to November, where we visited, crossing the Red Sea, and then moving on to the Holy Land. Now the other mountain, which a lot of people proposed, not a lot, well, some people proposed, is, as you can see now, this is Egypt, this is Madain, and this is the Holy Land, Beersheba, Dead Sea, and Jerusalem is somewhere up here. Mount Lawaz, which literally means Almond Mountain, I don't know where it got its name from, and this is the Mount Sinai. Now, as I explained to you, Moses knew this area very well. Egypt, 40 years as a prince, Madain, 40 years as a shepherd. Now, he gets here to Mount Sinai, where we are now. He gets the 10 Commandments of the Torah, moves, crosses Red Sea, goes to the Holy Land. Now, the alternate theory which other people propose is that he comes here, he doesn't go to Mount Sinai, this Mount Sinai, our Mount Sinai. He crosses the Red Sea, and then he goes in opposite direction here to where I've pointed ML, which is Mount Lawaz. Now, why would he do it? I mean, he knew this area, as I said, back like the back of his hand. He spent 40 years here and 40 years here. Why would he go in opposite direction to the Dead Sea, or to the Holy Land, into this area where the Mount Lawaz is? It doesn't make any sense. The Mount Sinai that we are there has got, as I said to you, centuries of testimonies from monks who started coming and living here, ancient tradition, ancient scriptures, local history, that this is where we're visiting, in fact, is the real Mount Sinai, which he came, stayed here, got the 10 Commandments, and the incidents of the golden calf happened, then moved on to November, where we went, crossed the Red Sea, and then moved in this direction towards the Holy Land. So this theory of having Mount Lawaz, to me, is completely absurd. Now, the people who give this theory that Mount Lawaz, the one who's in present-day Saudi Arabia, is the real Mount Sinai, They get their whole testimony from a rock there, which is cut in between with laser precision. Now, as you would know, and people who know the Arabic history, that this area of present-day Saudi Arabia, Medina, was inhabited by people, the Nabateans and their predecessors, the Arts and the Tamuds, and they were master dwellers. I mean, look at Petra, look at Al-Hagar in Saudi Arabia. They could carve rocks, they could imbue, they could. They had like laser precision. So just on the basis of one rock which is cut with laser precision in the middle is not enough. As I explained to you through the crafts and through the maps, the Mount Sinai we are visiting is in fact the real Mount Sinai. Let's get back to Sinai. Now you've seen through the maps and the route of the Exodus that the one in Saudi Arabia cannot be the real Sinai. Moses knew, as I said in my study, Medina very well, like the back of his hand. He spent 40 years here. Why would he turn the other way, the wrong way, towards that mountain of Almond, instead of going up towards the Holy Land? Incomprehensible. He wouldn't have done it. Plus, I'll tell you another evidence, and I'm here in the Holy Valley, and I want to show you something, another evidence. Now, this little area that you see here, where on the edges the buses are parked, our van is parked. Now this is reported to be the place where the children of Israel were parked, or were waiting, or were camped, when Prophet Moses, peace be upon him, went to Jabal Tur. And there is Jabal Tur in front of you. I'll put an arrow there for you to see. And this is where they were parked. Now up here on the little hillock, you see like a little building, the yellow building. There. That building is locally described as the tomb of Aaron, elder brother of Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. In Judaism, he's the highest priest, or the high priest. This is definitely not the tomb of Aaron. Tomb of Aaron is near Petra, on Jabal Harun, or the mountain of Aaron, there. This is actually the place which my research and many researchers say that when the children of Israel were camped here, and Moses, peace be upon him, was up there on Mount Sinai, when he came down, he saw the children of, after 40 days of meditation and receiving the 10 Commandments, he saw the children of Israel worshipping a calf. Now for some reason, in Christianity and Judaism, it's said that Aaron, or Prophet Harun, made that calf. The Islamic view vehemently rejects it. Aaron is regarded a prophet, and a prophet would not do something like that, would never ever do something like that. In the Islamic tradition, it was a sorcerer, a magician from Sumeria, and that's called Samiri. That was not his real name. In fact, his real name was also Musa. And Samiri was because he was from Sumeria, so he was called Samiri, a dweller of Sumeria, a magician. One of the Bani Israel said one of the members of those 6,000 people that were crossing, and he was a magician, a sorcerer, and as I said, his real name was also Musa. He made a golden calf, and when Prophet Moses came from there, carrying the commandments written on 2 plates, and he came here, he saw the children of Israel dancing and worshipping and going around ululating across the golden calf, around the golden calf. He was extremely upset. because he left Aaron as his deputy to look after the belief and the well-being of the children of Israel. The Islamic history says he went to Prophet Aaron and he grabbed him by his beard, asking him, I left you in charge. How did you allow this to happen? And this is actually the spot where he confronted Prophet Aaron. So that place is commemorated by this little shrine there, which then with period of time people started believing it's his grave. It's not his grave. This is the spot where Prophet Aaron was confronted by Moses, peace be upon him, when he saw the golden calf. Now, having known so much, where were they parked, where was Mount Sinai, how did Moses come down, confronted his brother Aaron on this little hillock, where is that calf? Is there any remnants of that calf? Is there any sign of that calf? Well, there is. I'll show you now. Let's go there. Now, you walk a lot here, eh? Get in fact tired, eh? Up and down, and at night I'm gonna climb Mount Sinai, 2,280 meters. We're gonna start at probably midnight. I spoke to my guide, the Jabalia guy called Eith, and he said we start at midnight. We're gonna get there by 3-4 in the morning. Then we're gonna rest in that little mosque there on the top. I'll show you all that. Then we're gonna watch the sunrise, one of the most beautiful sunrise ever, lighting up the whole Holy Valley. And then we're gonna come down around 5-6 in the morning. Right, let me show you the evidence of the calf. Right, I've climbed a little hillock to show you this. Now right in front of you is a rock that looks exactly like a calf. Let me try and get closer so you can see it better. There you see it clearly. The head, the eyes, leg, another leg, the body, and the tail. Right. So local people believe this is the cast mold of that golden calf that was made by children of Israel to worship when Moses went up on Sinai for 40 days, and when he came back he burned that. But this is the cast mold of that calf. So whether it is the real cast mold, I don't know. I don't have the answer. This is local history, and as I said, you don't find it in the travel books, in videos, even in travel logs by very experienced vloggers, explorers. For that you need to mix with local people. As I always say, and I cannot say it enough, local history is local history. You will not find it in books and videos. I've showed you with very few people knows the existence of it, and I'll tell you my views about it. Again, my views. I'm not saying that's the truth. My view is it the real cast mold? My answer is I don't know. I don't reject it. I don't accept it. My answer is I don't know. What I do know is what I'm going to tell you now. When I started this video, I told you that people like to create controversies purely out of nuisance, or purely out of getting noted, or purely out of a research-oriented mind. Where is the real Sinai? Where is the real grave of Noah? If you've seen my video on the tomb of Noah, I showed you near his grave there is a rock formation which looks exactly like an ark. In that video I also said, I do not know if this is the real ark, but I do know that it is a divine hint as to where the real tomb is. And God does give you those divine, subtle hints about the real location of these important spiritual, historical, geographical crossroads. Sinai, the Holy Valley where we are now, is indeed one of the most important spiritual, religious crossroad. And God has given us this sign of golden calf here, a rock that looks exactly like a calf, probably showing us where the real Sinai is. And this, what I showed you, is indeed. So I've come down from that mountain after showing you the golden calf, and there, as you say, says the tomb of Prophet Aaron. I told you my opinion. I don't think so this is the real tomb. I think the real tomb is in Petra. But if I turn around here, you'll see it's like a small graveyard. You know, see there's many rocks, a remnant of another tomb. So I actually think, let me go inside this tomb first to see this unnamed tomb. If I can pick up, it's like from Muslim era or Christian era. I personally think that these little tombs that you see here, these little edicules, are actually tombs of the priests that were in St. Catherine, possibly. I'm going to get into this tomb here. No one here. Deserted. Yeah. So there's no grave here. This little addition to the building, which probably has a grave in it here, does not have any entrance. It's completely. Oh, there is. Oh, and there is a grave in here. Assalamu alaikum. Oops, this thing is about to fall. So surely a Muslim grave. As I always say, north-south is the Muslim grave, east-west the other graves. Doesn't say anything whose grave is it. Probably one of the companions. I don't know. If it was from the time of Moses and Aaron, it would have been east-west. So surely later period, some holy men, I'm not sure. I just thought, I was just being inquisitive. Okay. Let's get back to the trail that leads to the tomb up there. Yeah, you know, exploration is funny. Each exploration, it's physically taxing, mentally draining, intellectually probably more draining. You know, so little written, more myths and personal wishes, whims added onto the history to convolute the history. So you have to delve deep, apply logic, apply the religious sense, non-authentic history to try and get the real meaning. Like this tomb I'm going to now, a lot of people believe this to be the real tomb of Aaron. They don't read history. Aaron never died here near Mount Sinai, never described. Let me get closer. See, I hope it's open. Then I'm going to show you what I see there. So I managed to get to this building that was written as Maqam, or tomb of Prophet Harun. It's got cross at the top. It's a place of Christian significance, probably something to do with Saint Catherine, maybe a relic, maybe something important happened here, but definitely not the tomb of Aaron. The door is locked, and there are a couple of windows, but they're sealed. Nevertheless, I came up here just to show you this. So this, according to my research and many other people, this is where Prophet Aaron was confronted by his brother Moses when he came down. So just to give you a geographical realignment, right in front of you there is Sinai. This area here where the children of Israel were camped, up on that mountain there in front of you, I showed you the golden calf, and this is where Moses confronted his brother Aaron, just to be all on the same page. Now interestingly, right next to this tomb there's this little round, in Africa we call it rondavel. I don't know what is in here. Oh, there's a grave. There's a copy of Quran. The grave again is north-south. Some verses of Quran inscribed on the shroud. No other sign. There's a tombstone there. Again, as I say, possibly some holy man who was living in this wildernesses. Interesting exploration research. Let's get to the van. Let's continue our journey into the Holy Valley. See what this Holy Valley has to show us more, to inspire us more. Let's continue. Now, you know, as we're touring the Holy Valley, Wadi Muqaddasa, it is generally believed that every prophet has visited this valley. And local people believe there are many prophets who are buried here. But the tombs are not known. But there are various tombs here, as I showed you when we went to Prophet Aaron's shrine, not tomb. I was passing around the road and I found this another tomb. And I've come with Mr. Usman here. Because Usman is, like, as I said, is a walking encyclopedia of Egypt, to try and see whose tomb it is. Usman seems to believe that Prophet Yunus, or Jonas as we say in English, is also buried somewhere here. I've visited two of his graves. One in Iraq, Nanwa, and the other one is in small town of Al-Hul in Palestine. But they believe he's also buried here. So I've come to this little tomb here in the Holy Valley. Let me show you. This one here. No idea whose tomb it is. Unnamed. But the Muslim crescent on the top. Ridicule. And there's the grave inside. Copies of Quran in the niche. Let me see if there's a tombstone here. No, there's no tombstone here. Could this be the grave of Yunus? Personally, I don't think so. Usman thinks it could be. So, as a true explorer, I don't discount anything. Anything is possible. He said Prophet Yunus or Jonas is buried somewhere here, and he thinks this could be his grave. There's some inscriptions here. Let me try and read it in Quran. No, it doesn't give any hint about. Let's see, Mr. Osman is here.
Nabiullah Saleh. Maqam Nabiullah Saleh.
They say it's Maqam Nabiullah Saleh.
Yes, this is what is written.
Oh, mashallah. So he's gone and he's deciphered. He thinks it's a Maqam of Prophet Saleh, one of the 4 Arab prophets who does not have a English name. That's what it said there. I have visited another grave of Prophet Saleh in Yemen, but this is also place claims to be his grave. Let's see where it's written. Can we go there, Osman, and see?
Yes, it's written here. Maqam Nabiullah Saleh.
Oh yeah, that's right. It says there, Maqam Nabiullah Saleh. Interesting. What else is here? Sure, look at this valley here. Isn't it? This is just amazing, this valley. Oh, there's another small tomb there in the middle of this graveyard. Also, a Muslim crescent on the top. This one doesn't have any inscription, but it is now. This grave direction is different.
Yes,
this is east-west.
Yes, yes.
So this is obviously before the Islamic time.
Yeah.
That one was north-south.
Yeah.
Let's go inside and see if you can find any hint of whose tomb is this. So this is definitely an ancient tomb, because as I said, it's the direction of this grave is east-west, which is opposite of what Muslims bury. Some niches with lamps being burnt, but no inscription, nothing written here. God knows. Probably somebody from time of Moses, just because of the direction of the grave. Osman is trying to decipher if he can pick up any hint. Nah.
Is it? It could be. I have here Hassan.
Well, that's somebody by the name of Hassan who was here. Graffiti, yeah.
Yes.
Possibly, I don't know if this looked like there could have been something written here.
Yeah.
But it's faded. Interesting.
There is nothing around.
Yeah.
I've been looking around.
Yeah, it's fine.
But the way of burial actually would seem is not.
It's before the Islamic era.
Maybe, yes.
Yeah, because the direction is east-west.
Yes.
But it's
By the
got
way-
a...
By the way, these are also tombs here.
Yeah, there's a little... This is whole graveyard. There's like many rooms.
For the people living here as
Yeah, it's probably from the people living in Sinai. But as I said, the direction of this grave is east-west, so it's different to the Muslim burial direction. Nevertheless, that brings us to the end of the exploration of the Holy Valley. I showed you whatever I could find, whatever I've read, researched, and tried to bring it to you as honestly as I can without any personal biases. I hope you enjoyed this. I thoroughly did. This Holy Valley is amazing. I just don't feel like leaving it. This evening, as I said, I'm going to climb Mount Sinai, Jabal Tur, Mountain of Moses, and oh, Osman is calling me back.
Mecca is on the eastern side.
Yeah.
So normally burying someone, his head would be
Makkah's inside, yeah. And I'll try and film because it's going to be dark there. but my guide will have a torch, and it's going to take me, I don't know, 3-4 hours to get to Mount Sinai. See the sunrise from there, bring to you whatever I see during my journey up there. I hope you enjoyed this vlog about the Holy Valley and all its hidden gems, relics, secrets. Till we meet again later tonight.